Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 464. I'm Brandon. I'm here with Ryan. Today we're going to rock the foundation. Now hit our theme song!
So good. I love that movie.
Mutant Mayhem?
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie.
So good.
It's probably the best Ninja Turtles movie since Secret of the Ooze, which was
So
only good
good.
because it was bad. Anyway, hey Ryan, we're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. We got a very exciting new set to talk about. We got some stories to tell, some people to thank, a whole bunch of really cool stuff we're going to get into. But before we get to any of that stuff, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They're your source for all your gaming needs. And we also have to thank Pile of Bones. They're the second coolest thing to come out of Regina. And they are the official beer sponsor for CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2, right here on YouTube.
That's it. You'd see Uncle Brando yell if you're watching on YouTube,
Which you should be!
because Editor Joe works very, very hard, and we do appreciate him just as much as we appreciate the business daddies over at Fusion Gaming. CCO summer promo code still in effect. Excellent. They have not made me change it, and we're going to ride summer as long as we can. Do not Google that.
Oh, yeah, I guess not, hey?
No.
Especially around here.
Yeah, we know a girl named Summer around her. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Good thing she doesn't watch the show, I don't think.
She might.
Yeah. Anyways, CCO Summer, you're going to get a discount on literally everything you buy at Fusion. And doing so, A, saves you money.
Which everybody likes.
Yeah, because everything's so goddamn expensive right now.
I heard that.
And it lets the business daddies over at Fusion know that their partnership with CCO, with the goons from Saskatoon, is a good one.
Which it is.
Yeah, very much so. Just as good as, and I brought some today, Quark beer from Pile of Bones. It's literally Canada's best beer. They just won an award for it.
For best beer.
Yeah.
Like, how often does that happen? So if you're in somewhere where you can get this stuff, get some of it and drink it. It actually is really good.
Yeah, very much so. Would you say that, and I know what you'll say, but is all beer good?
Well,
Because it's all beer.
that's a complex question because in a way, yes. But also in a way, no.
Very no.
Yes. Very no.
Well, Quark beer, very good, and I've got a couple little updates that I've been working on behind the scenes that I haven't told Brando about. So it's going to be a CCO exclusive. But we got to thank producer Gary in the Tooth booth. He's over there. We relegate him to the dark booth where he has to sit and think about what he's done.
Do you think
for at least an hour?
Do you think he would ever put a banana peel on the sets that you'd break your other leg so that he could be on the show again?
Maybe. You know what? In grade 12, my buddies and I because I went to a very big high school.
Yeah.
And the locker rooms and the gyms, like in my school, there's like 4 gyms, right? And a pool and everything. It was huge. And we, on the hallway that goes into the locker room, me and my friends, all down the different rows, were all like, we were in the senior team row for like the track and football team and stuff.
Sure.
And just outside of there, we put a banana peel on the floor, real cartoon styley. And we just waited. Every day my buddy Kyle would eat a banana and he'd put his banana on the floor and the teacher would come in, hey, who's this banana? Da, da, da. One day we got a guy. Slipped on the frickin' banana. Oh, so good. Went right over. Like this. Whoop.
Oh, sorry, Knox. These guys slipped on a banana peel.
So good. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, maybe he would. I don't know. But anyways, I said I had some updates.
Okay,
And,
all right.
and these are updates for you that I hope that you like and appreciate because I'm working hard for Uncle Brando.
What if I don't?
Well, they involve beer,
Okay, I like
beer
that.
accessories,
I like those too.
and the CCO Experience Calgary.
That's one of my favorite things. Is that next weekend?
It's getting close, yeah.
Is it 2 weekends from now?
November 15, 16, 17 is the CCO Experience Calgary. That is the Canadian Western Tour Championship weekend for all of the tryhards and the sweaty neckbeards that want to try and qualify for the Pro Tour. But us, we're sweaty butt crack commander players.
Yeah.
We are going to go and...
We're going to be there too.
yeah, we're going to be sweating along with the best of them, except we are the worst of them.
Yes.
And everybody's booked. Airbnb is booked.
Hell yeah, it is.
I have compliments of our friends at Pile of Bones.
Uh-oh.
little care packs for everybody in
yeah.
in the CCO Experience house.
I hope the care package is just a mini keg.
The care package does involve beer, maybe
it
some
involve
cork beer.
A mini keg?
It
or an actual keg?
It involves merch, compliments of our friends at Pile of Bones.
Okay.
And I have been working on some new merch for the CCO booth, of which I assumed you wanted some, so I did take the liberty and order some in your size.
Excellent.
And I don't have a graphic in my hand to show you.
Oh, well.
But I did also order beer koozies.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we can keep our beer cold or warm, depending on how cold or warm it is outside. Because we are going to Calgary in November, and we could see a blizzard, snowstorm, 100K winds coming off the mountains.
Or we could see literally the opposite, and we could have flowers blooming on the side of the road. Because Calgary is an insane place.
In which case, we will need to keep our beer cool.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes,
so,
very much.
New T-shirts, beer koozies, gift packs, compliments of Pile of Bones, all for the CCO Experience Calgary. And if you're not part of the experience, of course, stop by the booth. We're going to have some little mini games there for prizes. I'm wringing the necks of face-to-face games for some booster packs and extra prize tickets and promos, as we always have lots of. Mm-hmm. Come and see us. And some of the games will be for prizes. Some of the games will be different prizes will be like discounts for picking up some CCO merch. Going to be lots of fun stuff.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes, you can.
I was thinking I was going to tell it on the pre-show, but then I forgot because we were talking about really important stuff. What kind of important stuff? You'll have to check out the pre-show to know.
Yesterday's pre-show.
So I bumps into a guy.
Sure.
Conrad. You remember Conrad?
Consad, yes.
He was telling me about him and Jesse Spears, another local tryhard.
Yes, very.
Who went down to a legacy tournament down in America.
Ooh.
And they played in this legacy tournament. Number one prize.
Like recently?
Yep. This is within the last, this summer.
Yep.
Goes down, and the prize was like some money, because of course it's America and you can win money, and a sealed revised pack. Ooh, nice, right? Like
I want that.
That's pretty cool. That's like a couple $100 booster pack, right? So they plays, and Conrad makes it to the final match. He's in the finals with this guy.
He was glad.
He was glad, baby. And they're gonna play, and they're like, "Hey man, do you want the pack?" And he's like, "Well, I kind of just want the money. What about you?" And he's like, "Well, I kind of want the money too."
They're talking about a split, maybe?
And there was another guy elsewhere in the tournament that wanted the pack. And you know why he wanted the pack, Ryan?
No.
Do you know why he wanted the pack, CCO Nation? Think of your answer in your head.
Open flippy, don't drinky.
He wanted to open it.
Rip it and flip it.
He wanted to open that revised pack. So what they did was they split the prize.
Yes.
Buddy who wanted the pack just bought it.
Yeah, and then Jesse and Conglad and the other guy got more money.
Yeah, they split the money.
Yeah.
And then the guy opened the pack with everybody in the tournament.
Yep.
Just so everybody could see it. You know what he opened in that pack, Ron? Ooh, you know what he got?
Rock egg.
You know what he got? What he got? Magic carpet.
That doesn't sound like Underground Sea.
No.
Just making sure. There wasn't a tropical island in there?
No.
No taigas?
Nope.
Tundras?
Nope. Wheel of Fortune? Nope. Absolutely not. Just a magic carpet. Magic carpet, for those of us that aren't looking it up on the internet, worth 40 cents. And the guy paid 240 United States freedom units for that pack. And then just felt sad. And you know what Conrad said after he looked at me? After he told me that story? He was like, and then he understood what it was like to be you opening a booster pack, Brando. And I was like, oh.
I believe the buzzword, the industry word for that, oof.
Yeah.
Very excellent.
Yeah, but good on that guy, man.
Sticking to his guns.
Yeah,
hey,
he gambled and he lost big time.
That is the thing.
But it's a cool story that's on the internet forever now.
There it is. Yeah. And if you don't want to gamble, and this is the last thing I'll say about it. If you don't want to gamble, the CCO Experience, the CCO booth that's going to be there.
Never gamble with your entertainment. We always deliver.
The merch booth, we're going to have some special deals because I want to clear out some inventory space. You know how I sometimes I'm like, I got too much stuff in my house.
Yes.
I got to clear out some inventory space. So we're going to have deals in Calgary and then deals on the CCO store website so I can make room for some 2025 merch. We've been teasing it amongst ourselves for a long time.
Yeah.
We're thinking about Kickstarter playmat Kickstarter number 2. Yep.
Bar of soap and a CCO sock.
Bar of soap and a CCO sock. Yes. New dice to go along with the playmat, like color match dice. We're thinking about some of that merch because everybody keeps asking us for that stuff.
Yeah.
And Kickstarter was so much fun and successful for us last time. And so that's going to be the 2025 project.
My favorite part of that, and this is going to sound really weird, my favorite part of the Kickstarter that we did last time was when we announced it or whatever on launch day, when we sat at my kitchen table and we had the drop-in like Zoom session.
Yeah.
That was super fun. And then the next thing when we had all the shirts and stuff already, and we came and sat on the floor in your basement, just surrounded by shirts.
And signed all the playmats.
Yeah, that was lots of fun.
Oh man, 90 pounds of playmats, hey? Because like one playmat's not heavy.
No,
but when you get like hundreds of them, it's like freaking packed boxes. It's like a box filled with bricks.
And
was what it was like.
is very heavy when there's lots of it. I had no idea.
Yeah. Okay, Foundations, right after the final piece of business here. We mentioned it last week. I want to mention it again just so there's no surprises. The Patreon restructuring thing is coming on like November 11th or 13th or something. They're switching over to their annual billing model. So if you've ever been wanting or worried or had questions about Patreon, they completely clear all of that up, switching it to a monthly thing. You just select how much you want to pledge and boom, you're done.
It's easy.
So if you want to pledge, if you want to support, if you like the content, if you want to get your CCO nickname benefit, if you want to get your invite to the Discord, actual benefit.
That's an actual good one.
The experience, there's going to be 2, 3, 4 CCO experiences next year that you can get into when you're a Patreon supporter.
Are we going hard next year? Can we say that now? Like, are we doing it?
I want to go hard. But I will be honest. Like I say to Gary, we'll jerk the curtain open a little bit. The patronage has been suffering. The merch sales have been a little bit slow, and that a little bit is how we subsidize
doing that stuff.
The trips. Right? We offer the experience for so cheap because we've got a little bit of a travel reserve built up, and with things being expensive for everybody, and patrons dropping, the budget will be tight. But if you do want to see all of those things, and if you want all of the content to continue the way that it has, Patreon and the CCO store, best 2 ways to support.
Little support goes a long way.
Very much so, right? And coffee.com is there. YouTube membership. YouTube offers like a membership thing like Patreon as well, if that's what you want to do. Like, there's lots of options. Just look in the show notes.
That's weird. Foundations.
Now,
the magic. Now, 10,000 feet up. This is
Yes.
This is the return of the core set in a new, revamped kind of way. Because this isn't a rotational core set where like the sets around it and they will rotate out and then replaced with a new one.
Mm-hmm.
This one will be standard legal for 5 years.
I thought it was 3.
5. 5 years.
That's like a lifetime.
There are people who will begin playing Magic, invest all their spare money and time into it, play the game for quite a while, think they're going to make it big on the Pro Tour, not do that, and quit Magic, sell their whole collection. These cards will still be legal in standard.
Wow. Ew.
Yeah, so
that's depressing.
No, that's great. That's good.
No, what you said though.
You can get it and have a whole lifespan of a hobby that you had a great deal of joy out of.
Yeah,
and move on to something else.
And
you can actually still get some. I'm not going to say value, but some value out of the stuff that you've invested in. Unlike before with previous standard sets, where you're going to buy in, spend $300 on your deck, and then when it rotates out, you're fucked.
Yeah, what he said. Now, before we talk about cards and people think they're going to get a review, that's not this show. That's going to be next week and next week, looking at legends and special guest artists and good cards, because they are printing
several of those
good cards into the set, like they were with core sets of old. But we both had some thoughts on what this set means, what it represents for experienced and new players. I wanted to hear a little bit about the products and what you think of how it's all structured, because you had some like more in-depth thoughts than I did.
Well, yeah, okay. Let's start with some of the products.
Get into it.
How you can go out if you want to excitement this set into your life.
I do.
Excitement means spend money. So you can get the standard stuff. You got your set boosters, you got your collector boosters, and you've got your, in this one, actual jumpstart boosters. So these are the good jumpstarts that everybody likes, not the theme ones that kind of suck. Good.
These are like classic jumpies.
Yes, and there's lots of really great stuff. We'll talk about some of it either today and more of it in the coming weeks. We're going to talk about the jumpstart cards that you can get. Then you've got, instead of your starter deck, you have your starter deck building thing, which is a set bunch of cards that will build into 2 decks that you can then play with all the instructions on how to take the loose cards that they've given you to build decks to taste that you can then play against one another. And I believe that's the one that comes with the ever popular clicky life wheels.
Ooh.
People love those and they're hard to find. So here's a product that comes with one. So you can actually go out and get one. And in some cases, that life wheel is probably going to cost the same amount as this starter thing.
Yeah.
Then the other new one that they're coming out with is an instant collection.
Yes.
Which
this is something that secondary retailers have done now for a while, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like $50 and you get 50 random rares and 300 uncommons and 20 of each basic land in a big white box, right?
This is not that.
No, but it is
that, but it's not
it's
that.
From, again, 10,000 feet.
Yep.
This is something that WotC has queued onto where it's like, hey, retailers are already doing this kind of just based on the extra stuff that they have. Let's make it a dedicated product.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that represents an excellent way right from the factory for new players or moms and grandmas and grandpas and fathers who don't know anything about Magic and they want to buy something for their 13-year-old kid who like wants to play Magic with his friends.
Yeah.
I actually like this product.
I do too.
Tell us about it, though.
I think it's a great idea. So you're going to get, it's hundreds of cards. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head.
See if I can find it.
It might be 375 or something. And there is a list, so you are going to get what's on the back of the box. And it's got staples from Standard, from Foundations. It's got some Commander cards, Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, all that kind of stuff. And then it'll come with the rules insert and all that stuff that you need to just start building either EDH or Standard or whatever kind of deck that you want, although it is admittedly aimed at Commander and Standard. And while some people have been saying, well, why are you putting a Sol Ring in there?
Are you talking about the beginner box?
Nope.
That's a whole different thing.
The beginner box was the previous thing where it sends you the stuff and teaches you how to build a deck, and then you do.
Starter collection.
And then the starter collection is the one that comes with the clicky down wheel.
Yeah, okay.
350 plus cards, 26 traditional foil cards, 3 play boosters, 90 basic lands, 10 of which are the really cool arts that we're going to talk about next week.
Oh, man.
How to build a deck booklet, 2 reference cards, 14 tokens, so probably tokens for all the cards that you're going to get, and then the clicker wheel.
Yeah.
That is a cool idea, and I'm really, really excited to see some people get their hands on those, specifically new players, to see if they're as good as I think they are. And I think that's a good idea, and I'm excited to see what a curated version of that looks like. I'm excited for that one.
Dude, I'm excited for the beginner box. Does it come with this little like? Oh, is this like a playmat? Oh no, I bet you the slip unfolds into like a little playmat. Yep. There's you know how for people that are just listening and haven't seen, it almost is like a sleeve that goes over the bundle boxes.
If you used to buy the old school bundles and they came with a book, they had like the thing that would slide out and unfold into a poster.
Yes.
It unfolds into like a playmat.
Yes, a janky playmat. Dude, I want to use this. I want to use this playmat and pretend we're noobs at a pre-release again. Remember how fun that was?
That was pretty fun, actually. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was so fun. But it comes with Jumpstart boosters, and I bet you this product will be relatively cheap. And this will be the one that, like, when we do the interaction with like you know what the face-to-face events when they come over and say, hey, we've got like this games club from a school coming in, we want to have like a 3-round tournament or whatever. Sure. This is going to be the product that they get. I would love to sit down and just pound some freaking noobs at Jumpstart.
Man, I always lose at Jumpstart.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever lost at Jumpstart.
You didn't win in Vegas when we had the little tournament?
Oh, yes, I did lose one. I did lose one round there. Made it almost to the final.
Yeah, the important one.
And then it was, who was it? It was freaking
Logan.
Logan Ashurts McGee. And who is he playing in the...
Doesn't matter because Logan was Team Brando and he took the whole thing down.
He did, and then you signed his butt cheeks.
Yes, I did.
Gross. Okay, so then we got the regular boosters. We've got the
And then we got
regular
the
bundles.
All the other stuff that you expect is also to be found here.
Pre-release kit.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you would expect them to be. And again, remember this set is legal for 5 years. So the odds are all this stuff is just going to be around, which is pretty cool. You're not going to see it. I'm hoping you're not going to see it at your local game store or at Fusion or at whatever your site of choice is, which should be Fusion on the internet, but your local game store in your city, you're not going to see an empty space where Foundations should be.
I hope so. Now, the only couple things that I have questions about with regards to specifically that is usually collector boosters, like collector booster packs, have one print run and then they're done.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. I haven't heard on any Magic news outlets. The jump starts and the bundles and the booster boxes, the play boosters, those will all be available. But the collector boosters,
they might be a little bit trickier.
And for that reason, foils and showcase treatments that are only available in collector boosters might be expensive. And the other thing, if we're talking about hashtag MTG Finance and Magic Foundations, it's going to be around for 5 years. And they've reintroduced with this product MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price. And I like that because it sort of controls prices online. So people are like, oh, there's chase rares in this one product. I'm not going to sell it for more.
Yep.
But it also insulates local game stores against, I have these, it's year 4, nobody's buying it anymore. I'm going to clear this out at like 80% off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Walmart's going to do that anyways.
Yeah, you can
so
still do that as an LGS. You can still do that if you want.
I don't
Hopefully
know.
they don't have to, but
because big box retailers, because online retailers, because small stores, because chase rares, like new printings, because of the single print run of the collector packs, like does MSRP even mean anything? And are people really unnecessarily kind of freaking out about it?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I think there always kind of was an MSRP. It just we didn't know what it was.
If there's no MSRP, how come every single online retailer charges the same amount for stuff? Right?
Exactly, right? Like it's one of those things. But here's what I was thinking about this single run collector boosters.
Yeah.
I figure maybe that's we'll call it year. Every year around this time when they want to refresh the core set, maybe that's how they'll do it. Is they'll add different printings or different showcases and stuff, and they'll do another run of the collector boosters. That could be neat.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I could see that happening.
You could almost have it like, and I know Magic has never done this, maybe they never will, but think of like first edition Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And then the second print run doesn't have the first edition stamp on it anymore. And those are the rare ones. Maybe you incentivize players to get the first edition ones. Maybe there's a second edition printing. Like, collectors aren't going to like that. Retailers aren't going to like that because you got to categorize cards differently, as if there isn't enough categories of cards already. But like other Magic invented the wheel, and then other retailers did what Magic did.
Yep.
And now Magic is going back to and doing what those guys did, like serialized sports cards and jersey swatches from game-worn jerseys. And right, like Magic's doing all of those things that hockey cards did. Maybe they're going to borrow from Pokemon and say, hey, this is going to be the first edition printing of Foundations. And then everything after this print run will be maybe less money. Maybe it'll be cheaper.
What if year 2, 3, 4, 5
Oh.
is white bordered?
Got him.
Whiz. Oh, that would be terrible, hey?
No, all the white border guys are like,
Let's do it.
that's white out.
Let me say the thing that I'm the most excited about this set.
Okay.
Because it's the first time I think a Magic set has ever attempted to do what Foundations is doing.
Ooh.
And it's not
It's laying the foundations for this.
Shut up. You get out. Bring Gary back out here. Okay. Here's what it's doing.
Yep.
It is setting the floor for a format.
The foundation.
It's the power floor for a format. Standard will always be at least this
I
good.
understand. The proverbial floor.
Exactly.
Like the meta floor.
It's the proverbial floor of how bad any card is going to be. And I think it's also a mild attempt to say this is approximately how good we're trying to make other standard sets going forward.
It is the metric by which other things are judged.
Yes.
It sets the baseline.
And because it's going to be around for so long, you might have like more confidence in, I'm going to say investing, but like in investing in a card or speculating on how good this is going to be in standard going forward, right?
Yeah.
Because you know for a fact that Burst Lightning exists.
Yes.
So you never have to settle for shittier than Burst Lightning. Ever.
Burst Lightning is sorcery, red, 3 damage each opponent. Right?
No, it's instant,
Oh.
red,
Oh,
1 damage, and it's got...
Have you seen the new Lightning Bolt, though?
Yeah, yes. 3 damage to each opponent.
That's what I
red.
thought you were talking about.
Yes. No, Burst Lightning's like red, 2 damage to something at instant speed, and it's got kicker for 5, and it does 4.
Yes.
Right? I think I saw that was being reprinted.
Sure.
Either way, whatever the thing is, it's the floor. They'll never reprint something shittier than that, and if they do, you don't have to play it for 5 years. So it makes like this is the baseline for each burn spell, counter spell, vanilla green creature. There's like a 12-8 for 6 or something.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So it's telling us kind of where their eyeballs are going, and it gives us that metaphorical floor of this is where cards will be now for 5 years. And I think that's cool. I'm excited about that.
I got 2 things. First thing, I wonder if the camera saw, did you see I just spit everywhere? Did you see that?
Gary? No. Didn't see it.
Second thing, and this is a criticism of core sets, and it's a concern that I've seen online that plays right into what you're just talking about. And I have a note to talk about it, so it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah.
The floor, this is the new metric. This is, I can't play anything that's worse than this because this is the metric. Like this is 1.0 on the scale of what you do in Magic.
Yes.
Anything that's below a 1.0 in power level, let's use that language.
In standard, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, you're looking for power level.
Creative in standard.
No. Does this put you into a box? Does it simplify? Does it remove complexity? Does it make it, I won't say easy, but does it make it less difficult to say this is good or this is bad? Like, let's just pretend there's a mono red goblin burn deck, and right when Foundations plus whatever sets are alongside it in standard, right when Foundation is the set du jour, that's the deck. And it's primarily a Foundations built deck.
Okay.
Does it make it easier or harder to build new decks? Does it make it more simple, less complex? I want to initially say yes, it does.
I think it certainly does, yes.
Because it's like this is what Magic is at its very core.
Yes.
Right? Core set. Right? But I want to say no upon further thought because you're already doing that just on a shorter timeline.
Yeah.
Right now, the best deck in standard is this jank deck or whatever I'm trying to build more powerful than it? Or is this a meta deck that I'm trying to beat a certain deck in the format and I don't care about other matchups?
Yeah.
Right? Like this is not really an EDH question. It's more of a standard style question, but instead of asking that question and kind of maintaining that status quo over a 1-year period of standard rotation or a 3-year period of standard rotation, depending on exactly your arrangement of cards, now it's over a 5-year period of standard rotation. Is that good or bad? I tend to think that longer rotation periods increase the range. Look at Legacy, right?
Yeah.
Legacy, very established, dominant decks. There are decks that you know are the best decks that you do have to beat.
Yeah, you have to beat Reanimator. You have to beat Dredge. You have to beat
Omniscience. You got to beat those cards, right? Which makes it seem like it's not very complex. Oh, I just have to either beat those decks or play those decks and not get beat.
Yes.
But Legacy is arguably the most complex and nuanced format out of any Magic format, right?
It's kind of like chess, where you can look back at your game and you can actually see where the game went from here to here to here to here based on what mana you tapped.
And
what
again,
cards you played.
that makes it sound simple. That's reductive, right? and it seems like Legacy, based on its best deck nature or powerful deck nature, is reductive.
Nah.
But when you try to do it in practice,
It's hard.
It's hard. It's like driving a race car. Here's my automotive analogy for the week.
Sure.
Is, oh man, all I have to do is drive really fast.
I just have to go fast and turn left.
That's really easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Try and do that alongside 100 other professional race car drivers. You'll get smoked every single time, twice on Sunday.
It's hard.
Right? So for the people that are saying core sets are reductive, this long rotation window is going to be bad for standard.
And as far as I know,
even if it is, hold on, I got to finish this thought. Even if it is for those reasons, I think that the good that this set introduces outweighs the bad, in that it's going to be affordable. It's going to get the kind of new players we want into the game, the kinds of new players that are going to enter into the format probably as young, I'll say kids, but young adults, and a lot of those kids with their parents, because it's going to be really easy for parents to pick up a product that they know is, oh, this is how I start. This is how we start, right? And you're going to see a dad and a kid at the LGS learning how to play a game, and they sit down with somebody like you or I, and they say, hey, we've played Foundations, we've played Jumpstart, we built standard decks, but we've heard about Commander. It seems like it's got more creativity, it's more expressive.
join us.
And we say, join us. It's so much more rich and steeped in culture and imagination. It is the frontier of Magic.
You get to talk more shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the people that we want coming in. I'm not saying that we don't want the legacy players that are only playing CEDH and trying to pub stomp for prizes. I'm not saying we don't want those people, but if I get the opportunity to sit down with a young adult and their parent and tell them about the culture behind Magic and how Commander is really this expressive and in some ways life-changing and never stops giving, that's what Foundations can introduce to people. I think that's very important.
And the rotation window is only extending for Foundations. The rest of the set still rotate every whatever the fuck
I think
it
it's
is,
a 3-year rotation. I think it's a 3-year
like
rotation.
whatever the rotation is, it's staying.
Okay.
Which is so like the Cons and the Skylanders and the Spider-Mans, they're all gonna rotate out and they're gonna be gone.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's right. And all of those things I said are real. So they're all going to rotate out, but Foundations still going to be there. So there will be a through line of cards. So if the cards again that you've invested in, that you've bought over the course of 2-3 years before standard rotation, once standard rotates, your whole deck isn't just gone. The backbone of it will maybe still be your removal package, some of your, you know what I mean? There'll be core cards, core set that will still exist. And I think that's really cool. And we're not a standard podcast, but I really do think that this set is going to be good for that format, which I believe has been struggling. And I think this might help not breathe life into it, but breathe confidence back into a player base that doesn't want to invest in all these cards and all this money in the best deck, only to have it eat shit 2 years from now or after it eats a ban. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the breathing confidence into standard. I like that. I like having the backbone of decks remain the backbone of decks. Man. I like all of that. Is there stuff like that in other games? That's a question I had for you. And they could be digital games, because I know you're far more familiar with like traditional gaming on consoles. But I'm thinking like D&D starter kits. I'm thinking of other complex board games that have like lots of pieces. I'm thinking of like Descent, which is like D&D light. Yep. You get your little characters, you get your dungeon, you get your character cards pre-made, and you go and play a board game that is kind of like D&D, but it's all in one package.
Correct.
Right? Does Warhammer have this? Can I just go and buy an army, like a starter army in a can? I think I remember Laura telling me about skirmishes.
Yep.
Skirmishes where you buy like a mini army and you just go and fight another mini army.
I was actually at I was at Dragon's Den yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's a local game store in our city.
And yes, you can. They have little armies that are just in the box. Yep. Here you go. This is I don't understand all the terminology because I don't play Warhammer.
Oh, I wish I did. I wish I had the time and the money to do that.
It had was it a point value, but it had like this is if you're playing at this level, this army will take you into the game and you can just play it.
Yes.
And so, yes, you can do that. Yes, Descent does that. Yes, D&D does that. They give you the stuff to just enter you in, and it's at a price point that is, I would say, acceptable.
I was going to use the word acceptable and then add acceptable as something like a Christmas present from your grandma.
Correct. And one thing about this, again, being legal for 5 years, all these cards are going to be around. The prices on a standard printing of any card in this set, I would assume, will be very low.
Like a single.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to go out and buy singles from this set, they will be very affordable.
And if you wanted to save 5%,
you could go to Fusion and use CCO Summer or whatever the promo code is next year and save that 5%. And that's pretty cool. Even the cards like the Blasphemous Awakening. We'll talk about one card.
Oh, yeah. Black 3 sorcery.
Everybody sacks 13 bros.
Yes.
Costs 1 if there's 13 bros in play.
Oh, I like that card.
Right? It's Blasphemous Act, but it definitely kills everything.
Unless some guy's got 15 creatures.
Yeah. But I mean, they probably don't.
They probably
don't.
Though, there is a mono-green Sapperling legend.
Yes, there is.
And I can't wait to play. He's got the funniest little art. He's got these little mushroom babies. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
I want to go old school and make a mono-green Sapperling deck.
Do it.
Or a mono-green Beast deck.
Can now.
Because those, it's actually a Gruul card. It's got a Gruul mana symbol in the text box. Yeah. I want to go old school and do some of the stuff from, I'll say my childhood, but what I mean is my Magic childhood.
Yeah.
First booster box being Onslaught ever that I opened, and Beasts were one of the creature types that mattered. It was a creature type matter set. Yeah. And Beast was the green creature type. And my friend had a Beast deck. My friend Adam, man, he just railed us with it. And I want to make a mono green Sapperling deck because Sapperlings were big a la Invasion and Odyssey blocks.
Yeah,
and I want to do that, but not do Jetmir, not do Rith, not do Conclave tokens, whatever. I just want mono green Sapperlings. Make freaking 1,000 guys.
You don't want to do Kamal?
Could put him in the 99.
Krosa? Yeah,
he's not a little mushroom guy. Little mushroom babies though.
He's got kind of a mushroom shaped head.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, mushroom head. Do not Google that. Don't Google that one.
No. Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe
no king shaming in the nation. Yeah. That's yeah. You're right. Okay, so good for
I'd say value-wise, it's good.
Yeah.
The health of the game, I think this is good. If you're somebody that's on the internet right now, and I'm going to categorize you as a whiner, if you're whining about there being so many universes beyond, if you want to see the most magic set that we're going to see, I'm going to say all year, this is it.
I bet you this is it.
This is the most magic-themed, magic-feeling, Magic the Gathering set that we will see in the next calendar year.
I agree, and I'm going to expand on the theory behind that a little bit.
Do it.
Okay, so when you started playing Magic, and your relationship with Magic isn't as deep and insightful and penetrating as it is now.
Sure.
And you can't bend the rules and really flex your creativity within Magic's rules set, then like you can now.
Correct.
I would say Magic was a simpler thing at that time,
yes.
Just based on your command of the rules.
Yes.
Now, what if the product did that for you and boiled it down to my 2/2 merfolk is going to attack into your 2/1/1 goblins, and this is going to feel very much like classical, traditional, high fantasy Magic, but within familiar terms. I'm going to see a Birds of Paradise. I'm going to see a Llanowar Elves. I'm going to see a Goblin Dropkick guy.
Yeah, that's
right?
fun.
I'm going to see all these traditional things when I play Foundations Limited, let's say, or Jumpstart.
Yeah.
I go back to Jumpstart because I enjoy it so much, and I play so much Jumpstart at the face-to-face events, play Jumpstart at CCO Experiences because usually we get a box. Yeah. And I know that's not Commander, but it's going to feel like Magic when you were young. And I really think that's inspirational. Not because I'm going to get all these powerful cards that I'm going to build decks out of, but because I'm going to be excited to play Magic in this new way. And there are 39 new commanders.
Yeah.
And I am going to get some of those in Foundation boosters and in Jumpstart packs. I'm going to get those. And when I get the Beast one, when I get the Saproling one, I think it's an uncommon, I'm going to want to play them. I'm going to want to build decks. I'm going to want to go and find all my green Saproling cards from 2002 and put them into a deck and see if I can make 10,000 Saprolings.
And just be sad every turn when you put one spore counter on your shitty guy.
No, I'm not even going to do those. No way. No, right? Oh, well, maybe I will, and I'll play Doubling Season.
You probably should.
Yeah. But it's inspirational because it's going to give me kind of that spark that I had when I was in middle school building decks out of what I had. Now, what I have is a whole arsenal of 20 years worth of Magic playing, and this new card that gave me the inspiration to spread all this stuff out on my office floor in my house and build like I'm 13 again.
Yeah.
And to me, that's exciting. And when I combine that with my 7-year-old son who can read now and is interested in playing more complex board games, he can read, he can count, he knows, he can keep track of like a rules set of a game.
Sure.
And combine that with simpler Magic over the next 4 or 5 years. Combine that with the SpongeBob Secret Lair that he already knows about and wants me to get for him. That's going to be my son's gateway into the game, right? And maybe his first deck will be the mono green Saproling deck or the Gruul Beast deck. Uncle Brando approved, I bet you.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to give him his first Brash Taunter and say, point this at your dad every time.
Yep.
Right? And that's going to be our collective relationship, is Brando and my son trying to beat me with
Brash Taunter
decks that I built for him. Yeah. So that's what's exciting for me about it, because I'm not going to play Standard.
No.
I'm going to play Commander, and I'm going to use these new cards with my son because, it's not really affordable for me either unless I just buy Foundations.
Yeah.
Right? And it's exciting for me for that reason.
You know what you're going to get also? We talked about it. You mentioned it. We broke it a bunch of times on the show. First podcast to ever break Doubling Season.
Oh.
It's in Foundations.
It is?
So are we? Yes.
Oh, good.
So are we going to see sub $20 Doubling Season for the first time in 20 years?
Well, I didn't know we were a comedy podcast.
Could it happen?
Brando.
Could it happen, though? It could. It's a hypothetical possibility. They're going to be opening, and I'll bet you lots of those go into Standard decks.
I'm hoping. I'm holding out for $20 Doubling Season.
Like, we could see it.
I'm holding out.
It's a hypothetical possibility.
I want to talk to you about a few other cards that we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
That I really like.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to do the sets proper, so we're going to do the outside of the set proper, but cards you can still get when buying said set.
Now, these are called special guests.
Yes. And before we say anything, I'm going to say that this is my favorite lineup of special guests yet.
Oh, yeah?
Not all these cards are bangers, but they are all playable. I've seen every one of these cards played in decks, and I play all but 2 of them.
I think every one is good except for one they could have done better on.
Is it this one?
No, it's this one. Anyways, let's...
Okay.
So, special guests, we get them only in collector packs?
Nope. You can get them in...
Play boosters.
Any booster.
Okay. Can I get them in foil?
Yes.
In any booster?
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
Yes.
That's good to know. We've got, how many? 10 of them.
Yep.
And they are... This is my favorite part. They are in the showcase frame treatments from different sets over the last however many years. And I love this because people who collect those or that showcase treatment get another one for their collection that they can get.
Yeah.
I like this for the same reason, but the opposite of that is, let's say there's one of these is Sphinx's Tutelage. It's a mill card.
Yeah.
In the Theros Constellation Showcase. If I see that and I say that's a beautiful Magic card,
that's the coolest thing.
I want to get the rest of them now.
Yeah.
And now I have this new random little trinkety style, very obtainable, collectible kind of set that I can go after, because let's face it, collecting Magic is daunting and overwhelming and expensive.
Yes.
So if I can go and get all like the heavy metal Kaldheim frame treatments, that's obtainable. It's cheap. It's It's cool to look at and showcase. You could frame them. You could put them in a binder page. I love that. And I'd like to go over the card selection with you
do it.
and where they were featured originally. See if you can knock it all out of the park here.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, the first one is Condemn. Instant for white. Target attacking creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Its controller gains life equal to its toughness. Where did that frame come from? Strixhaven.
Now, there's
Mystical Archive.
Yes, there's Mystical Archive in Strixhaven, not the Japanese like super duper one, but like the flowy, goldy, booky one. Those are cool. That's the card that I was like, is this the one that was kind of poopy? Because I don't.
That's a good removal spell.
When was the last time you saw anybody play it though? Like, I don't think I've seen somebody play that card in maybe ever.
When you're up against Swords and Path, you're not going to get played. But if you're a deck that's very tricksy and light on mass removal, Condemn goes in.
But why do people play I guess people play Generous Gift because it kills anything.
Yes.
Not just a creature that's attacking you.
Yes. Yeah. It's a fine card.
We talked about Sphinx's Tutelage. That's the Constellation one. It's a mill card.
Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2. If the 2 are the same color, you repeat the process. In Bruvac, that's 4. Yep. That almost always mills somebody who's playing a mono or 2-color deck in Bruvac. And then you can go 5 blue, draw, then discard. So it's got the draw built right in. Yep.
And it's a eminently playable card, as you just demonstrated. The next
Constellation.
Grim Tutor is next.
That's a good card in the Kaldheim heavy metal style.
Yep.
Very
Black
cool.
1, search your library for a card, lose 3 life.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Very good card. Very powerful card. And great reprint. $15, $20 card.
Yep.
Right?
And again, eminently playable card.
I play, including this next one, 3 of the first 4. This is Embercleave.
Yeah.
This is a flash artifact equipment, red, 4. It costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. So it costs red. And it auto-equips. And it gives +1/+1 and double strike.
Oh, that's so good. And it's in the Storybook frame from Eldraine?
Eldraine, yes. Both Eldraines, we've seen the same treatment.
Yes. I'm excited for this one because I don't have a foil Embercleave. And I like this one better than regular Embercleave. So in every way that this is a cool card, this is a cool card for me. I want one of these pretty bad. I'm excited for that one.
I have a foil Embercleave in Lord of Tressorhorn. Hell of a card in that deck because it instant kills you because he's a 10-4.
Yep.
He becomes an 11-5 double striker.
Yep.
And you immediately die. And I think I like this one better, though I've tried to stick to regular foils instead of showcase foils, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
Well,
what do you think I should do?
I would get this one. It's cooler. I like the picture on this one, too. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, you'll be able to see the picture. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool
I like
picture.
that one.
This next one's my
great reprint, too, because that card is actually getting expensive.
Yes, expensive card, especially in foil. The foils are still not like super expensive, but they're in the tens of dollars.
Oh, there you go. Okay, next one.
It's my favorite one.
This one, the common from Zendikar, is over $2 now.
Yes.
The common from Zendikar. So extracurricular printings of this card have actually gone up to almost $10. Yes. This is Goblin Bushwhacker, a 1/1 Goblin Warrior for red, kicker of red. When this creature enters, if it was kicked, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. Very good.
And it's in the showcase frame from whatever the last Zendikar set was.
Zendikar Rising.
That's the one.
Zendikar Rising.
So immediately, fucking cool, as that is my second favorite showcase treatment all time.
Really, that one?
I love that one.
I love the art style. I don't like the frame. It seems like blasé.
Believe it or not, I actually have a full set, now -1, of that showcase treatment.
And you'll be getting this one because A, full set, B, Goblin.
B, Goblin, and C, Goblin that I actually play in decks.
Oh, C, play.
Right, I actually play that card actively in more than one deck right now. I really like that one. That's my favorite one.
Do these come in foil and non-foil?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because this next one, I play in Animar, and it's my 100% painted art deck.
Yes.
This one might be going in instead of my current copy of Bloom Tender. It's a 1/1 Elf Druid for green 1. Tap, add a color of mana for each color of permanents among colored permanents you control.
In the Art Deco style made famous in Gangsta set.
Yes.
Whatever that one was.
New
Capenna.
Capenna. Streets of New Capenna. Yeah, yep. I love this one. I love that Art Deco style, as I have talked about over and over now for 2 or 3 years, however long that's been. And this is a good one in a card that I play.
Great reprint. I'm happy people are going to get it. Not my cup of tea, because I wasn't a huge fan of the Art Deco style. Sorry, guys. But again, cool that people are going to be able to just open a Bloom Tender and then have one.
Yeah, another $20 card. Yep. Next one is a 20-cent card.
Yes.
This is the biggest miss, I think. This is Paradise Druid, especially considering we have another like F&M promo or something of this, like a pimp version.
Yep.
This is another Elf Druid 2/1 for green one. Has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and taps for a mana of any color. Fine card.
It was a fantastic mutate target in Ikoria Standard back in the dark days when you would play Magic Online. You just mutate the shit out of this thing because nobody could kill it, and then you just keep mutating onto it, and the other guy was just like, "Oh, I keep discarding cards and losing 3. What the fuck?" And then,
that's good. Yeah.
Then they die, and then you could tap it for mana, and then they'd immediately kill your whole mutate pile.
Yeah. And this is the tap it for mana, then you just get blown out. This is in the Art Nuevo style of Ravnica.
Did they ever actually use that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots with the city, like this kind of storybook city style backdrop. Yeah.
But wasn't that just for the like invade All Our One or March of the Machine when they just brought in the showcase treatments from all the sets, and Ravnica never had one?
I think so, but that is the one for Ravnica now.
It is Ravnica, but I don't think they've ever actually used it, and I think it's stupid.
Or in the words of Brando, I hate it.
Yes. Yes, that is absolutely correct.
You very much have to cross your arms like this when you do it.
I hate it.
I hate it.
Yes.
Okay, next one.
This
really
is
good reprint, like
I like this
$40
one.
card.
I like this
Chroma's Memorial. Give it a read.
Chroma's Memorial is a legendary artifact for 7 creatures you control have flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, and protection from black and protection from red.
Expensive card.
No rest, no mercy, no matter what.
In the Dominaria stained glass treatment, a fan favorite, I think. Hey,
yes, I concur. Even like the basic lands in that treatment are a couple of bucks for the non-foil ones. People like that showcase. That's a good one.
That's a good one, and they look so good in foil, right? Stained glass and foil, it goes hand in hand. It's like sun shining through your window in. If you have stained glass, I guess.
I like everything about that card. It's expensive, so it's cool that it gets a reprint. It's so good. And it's not one of those cards that's like, it's so good and it costs 2, so it just blows Commander games out. It's a cool finisher in decks that maybe don't have one.
Yeah.
I used it for a while in my Toxrill deck, but I was still trying to win by attacking with slugs before Nazgul came out.
Ooh, yeah, I like Nazgul.
And then, because now when I make a bunch of slugs, I turn all the slugs into Nazguls, and then all the Nazguls get giant, and then I win with
Nazlugs? Slugghouls?
Slugghouls.
Slugghouls. Okay.
Yep.
Next up, I play this card. Oh,
of course,
baby.
You do.
This is Temporal Manipulation, another $20-ish card.
Done in the Neon Dynasty
Neon Showcase
anime frame.
Yeah. This is blue 3 sorcery. Take an extra turn after this one. You know what my favorite part about this card is it doesn't say target player takes an extra turn. No misdirections here. No misdirections. I've had turns get stole before. When they say target player takes an extra turn, I just got all the way blown out. Yep. Yeah, not good. Not very much fun for your good friend Ryan.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Good reprint, few bucks.
It's a save. Actually, this one I think at one point was a few. This next one.
Hold on. At one point, the Portal Second Age version of Temporal Manipulation is like $100. Now it's like $35. But this special guest one is still $40. But you can get copies of this card for cheaper now. Yes. And this is only going to help those copies.
Correct.
And the final one.
Fiend Artisan, done in my very, very most favorite showcase treatment, the Ikoria comic book big time monster art. Fiend Artisan is essentially a crappy birthing pod on a 1/1 for 2.
Yes, but it gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. So when you sacrifice to pod something away, it gets bigger.
Yes.
And good to cast because it's Golgari hybrid. So this card was like very popular in Standard for a while. So to put it back into Standard, I think is probably pretty cool. These are legal in Standard, right? Are the special guests legal in Standard? Would they put a Temporal Manipulation in Standard?
Why not? It costs 6.
Would they put Grim
Yeah,
Tutor?
Grim Tutor they might not. Maybe these aren't legal in standard.
Well, this was a standard playable card,
Yes.
so to put it in the standard set does make sense, kind of as an homage,
Yeah.
right?
And it's a cool card, and it's a cool picture too. I really
cool
like that
picture, cool art. It does what Golgari does. It either beats, it pods, it does graveyard stuff. This card's good.
one. I'm gonna get me one of those too.
Yeah, because you undoubtedly have a collection of these.
Yes, I have a full set of those, including the triomes, mind you.
Yep, and the Fiend Artisan was anywhere between like $5 and $15, depending on which version you got: foil, non-foil, showcase. Secret. There was a secret layer of it, right?
There was too.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, full arts. There's all versions of these cards, right? Like there's
85 ways
so
to
many
get
freaking different versions, but that's why you get the vast price range in them, right?
Yes.
But
So
I think all the cards are good.
absolutely. There's no cards in here that you're gonna open one of them and be like, oh fuck. I mean, at one point, yes, you're getting a common with a mythic rare stamp on it in Paradise Druid and Condemn, but Goblin Bushwhacker as well, actually, now that I think about it.
Yes.
But all of these cards are eminently playable. They're very good, and it's cool to see them. If they're not in standard, whatever, but just have them come back with some neat treatments on them. They make for cool collectible items and cards that you can... These are those cards that you're going to open one in like a pack when you're new, and somebody's going to want to trade you for this.
I actually like that and think that it goes right along the theme. Now, if we analyze these from a commander perspective, I'm a new player and I open this trying to build my standard deck. I can trade this to a commander player. You want the foil Embercleave? You get the foil Embercleave. I build my standard deck with whatever stuff you open for the most recent Brando's box opening.
Yeah.
Right? Or the other way around is I open up Magic Foundations because I want to do Jumpstart or buy bundles or build with my son, and I get a cool piece for my commander deck. Like, who doesn't want to open a Grim Tutor?
Yeah.
Right? Remember in Vegas when Jared opened 2 Grim Tutors, same pack, one non-foil, one foil, drank his whole drink.
That's so good.
Because Grim Tutor.
Yeah.
The last time I cast an Embercleave, it was the final game of the night at the LGS. I walked down to the Coachman licensed beverage room. You guys are already all there.
Yep.
And I says to you guys, you guys, Embercleave, hell of a magic card. Everybody just like held up their drinks. Yeah, that's a good card. Yeah. I just one punched a guy who was at like 40 life and 0 commander damage. I won the game.
Yeah. I just killed him. Just erased him.
Frickin' killed him. Right? So I want to open up that card. Chroma's Memorial, your favorite card. Bloom Tender going in my Animar deck.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. Like, if I opened any one of these, I could probably find a home for it in a deck that I'm playing right now.
You still got a mutate deck?
I don't anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I was too... If they do more mutate cards, I feel like they won't, which makes me sad. I would rebuild it, but it's too...
Too much thinking.
And it's too easy to disrupt. Like, I'm explaining to people what everything does, and they're just like, you know what? Because I'm sick of hearing you talk, I'm just going to kill your creature. Like, but it doesn't do anything. I don't care. He has a Kozilek. I don't care. I just want that thing to go away, so you stop talking, Brando. Okay. You want to hear another fucking game story?
Sure.
Okay, so guy I'd never played before at the LGS on EDH&M.
Halloween night?
Halloween night.
Oh.
Spooky. Comes in with the Beamtown Bullies.
Yeah.
He opened one, looked at edhrec.com and
Of
thought,
course. Leveler and Eater of Days.
Yep.
Those are the 2 cards.
What do I do with this deck? Okay, and he did that. And I knew that he was new because, like, he tried to counter a spell with an Assassin's Trophy. Right? Like, he knew how his deck worked, but, like, he didn't quite understand timing and all that kind of stuff yet. So, okay, all right. And he's going to make a mistake, which is beautiful. Beautiful. I'm playing my Niku Sharts into Clones deck, right?
Okay.
And so Beamtown Bullies, for those of you that don't know, it's a dude that lets you put a creature from your graveyard into play under an opponent's control, goaded.
Yep.
And typically you'll give them a leveler, it'll come into play, remove their library from the game, and they lose.
Or an Eater of Days enters the battlefield, skip your next 2 turns.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oof.
Right, like, it's just terrible. So what this guy does is...
So fucking card.
So there's 3 of us left in this game. But he doesn't have Leveler. He doesn't have Eater of Days. He doesn't have any of that stuff in his bin. What he does have is like a Path Raiser of Ulamog or something. It's like a can't be blocked by 3, or has to be blocked by at least 3 creatures.
Annihilator 1 or whatever.
9/9. Annihilator 3.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good card.
Key. This card is not legendary.
Oh, no.
For Nico.
Oh, no.
So he gives it to me thinking I'm going to swing into this guy, and he's going to, he'll have to annihilate 3, and I look at the guy who obviously is going to get attacked by this creature and say, hey, you want to see something funny? And he says, yeah, I do. And I say, 2, tap Nico. Exile this Path Raiser of Ulamog, whatever the hell it is. Okay. My 9 shards are going to turn into copies of that Path Raiser of Ulamog. I will attack each of you for fucking
81 or whatever.
Like 40.
The important part here, Annihilator 27.
Exactly. Yes, that's the key. So the game was, but it's like the one guy's at 3, the other guy's at 4. Totally empty boards. And I'm just like
3 life?
Oh yeah.
Like after the attack or before?
After. So I took them from full board state to literally nothing with 1 attack. It was so good. And the guy's like, I should have read your commander. And I said, yes, you should have. You definitely should have read him before you decided to give that to me.
Welcome to Magic.
It was pretty good. Those were some good games. We played 6 games that night.
Oh, wow.
Because we eventually ended up with a 3-man pod. All the games were pretty good. We had a lot of fun.
Games don't take very long when you have no freaking board and your life is 3 and your opponent's got 9 9/9s.
Yes. It does not last long after that.
Oh, so good.
Lots of fun. I like stuff like that.
So good. Well, what do you think? Final thought on Foundations.
Final thought on Foundations. I am very excited for this set. It's going to come out while we're in Calgary, I think. So we'll probably be opening and flipping and drinking some of this stuff. I haven't seen any commanders that I personally want to build yet, but I'm looking at lots of cards.
November 15th, 2024. So if you're in Calgary and you want a jumpy, I'll jumpy.
Yep.
I'll frickin' take all your life.
If you want to opening, I'm your man.
If you want to open flippy.drinky,
we're right there for you.
That's
we'll have
right.
a whole house full of people that want to do that with you.
Very much so. And don't forget, if you want to pick up the new CCO beer koozie, available at commandercookout.com now, if you want to keep your beer warm or cold as you open and or flip. Oh, and you will.
So beer cozies will keep a hot drink hot in the winter.
Yes, sir.
And a cold drink cold in the summer.
Yes, sir.
How does it know?
Science.
AI.
Science. And you know what my
probably,
favorite
right?
part about a beer koozie in the winter is?
Tell me.
That weather when you're kind of outside and it's not cold enough for gloves yet, but if you're holding the beer out there, like at the fire the other night when you were over at my house, nobody was wearing gloves, but by the time it's dark and in the evening, you're holding your beer and your hand is cold. I don't need a koozie in that situation to keep my beer cold, but to keep my hand warm.
Yes.
So they also have the technology to keep your hands warm.
Sorry for throwing so many beer cans into your fire pit.
I didn't even know that happened.
Good. But there are some beer cans in your... Because we didn't want Nori to come and she was trying to lick all the beer out of the top of the can. You know dogs do that.
Yeah.
So instead, she couldn't do that. We smushed them up and we put them in the fire.
Oh, yeah. Well, she'll dig them out of there anyways.
Well, there's no beer left in them, so she can't get drunk. All right? We do not support underage drinking here in the nation.
Just us and producer Gary.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Final thought. I'm excited. It's coming out in Calgary. Also excited for that.
Yes.
I'm excited to get into cards next week. If you have got any Foundations decks, either good for teaching new players or like the mono green sapperling guy that I'm probably going to be building with my kid, send them in. commandercookout@gmail.com, or if you're a Patreon supporter, thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. You can put them in the Discord. We've got some the appropriate deck list channels in there, and that's how head of podcast deck list procurement at Commander Cookout Enterprises gets the deck lists, and that makes his job easy. So
I like it when my job is easy because I don't like to work hard.
Yeah, very much so.
One thing I do want to say, my one complaint about this set, one complaint, I have one, and this is it.
We didn't do the strengths and weaknesses, but we kind of ran out of time.
We'll do it next week.
Sure.
They reprinted Blasphemous Act and not Chain Reaction. And I so badly want a new art for Chain Reaction that it hurts a little bit. So I really wish that they had reprinted that one instead of Blasphemous Act.
You're just going to have to blast Theme instead of Chain.
I do both. And quite frankly, in Terrelf, Chain Reaction wins me more games because it does more damage.
I have to make one quick addendum.
Oh, do tell.
In Commander Cookout Nation, in the CCO Nation, we do both. Okay, take us out.
We will do both. We will do cards. We will do excitement. And we will do probably beer after the show. That's 3 things, not 2. So all is better than both. But we like to do all instead of both here in the nation also. So if you have any thoughts on cards or sets or anything, leave them in the comments below. We'll read them. We'll bring them back. And we'll incorporate them into our thoughts that we're going to deliver to you on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit on!